Hi, guys. On this video today, we're going to be discussing why being single is better and happier than being married. Mark?
Okay, here we go.
Sometimes being a man feels like being the butt of some universal joke. They say that addiction is not getting enough of something you really don't want. And sometimes I feel like that is our relationship with women. When I was a kid, I remember listening to men talk about how women, particularly their wives, drove them crazy. How it was just one thing after the other. But at the same time, I would see men on TV and sometimes in person very enamored with women for one reason or another. Then I went on to become a teenager and in my 20s, and women just seemed great to me then. I mean, there was no downside at all. It all seemed pretty straightforward. Like, meet a woman, seduce her, have sex, short relationship, move on to the next woman. Well, then I got married. And now I begin to understand what those guys were complaining about. I get it. So now when I'm walking the trails and I come across some attractive woman who wants to pet my dog, I'll flirt with her, no question about it. It's an impulse, just can't help it. But I know deep down inside that is not going to happen. That is not going anywhere. Because I remember how incredibly valuable it is to have the power to say yes to the things that I love in my life. And if I get another woman in my life, that power is going away.
Give me the ball. Who's got the ball? You gonna bring me the ball?
I'm going to have to disagree on that. I think men and women, they should have the power to say yes at all times. Whatever they desire, whatever they wish to have, whatever they wish to do. Sure, your spouse is going to have a say in it. But overall, I think if this is something that you want, something that you need, what's the point of asking? Just go out and get what you need.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. It seems almost like he's making it sound like if you're married, your wife is. I mean, a lot of women, yes, they will nag you and not agree with you and no, you can't. I don't want you doing that, or you got to check with them. But that's only if you choose that type of wife. There are good women out there that aren't like that. Now, I'm not saying they're easy to find, especially here in the West.
They're a stand by your man woman.
Yeah, but I know guys that are married and. Right. They won't even tell her, oh, can I go to, Tom's house and we're going to watch a game, have a beer. Right. He won't ask. He'll say, yeah, I'm going to be home a little later. I'm just stopping off at Tom's house. He invited me over. I'm going to have a couple of beers. We're going to watch a game. I'll be home later. Yeah. Okay, honey. And that's it.
Absolutely.
And that's, it seems this guy doesn't have that experience.
And I'll be honest with you, and there are women out there that say, you're doing what? You're going where? Absolutely not.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you shouldn't be married to that woman.
100%.
And this is something that a person learns with experience later in life.
Absolutely. Not when you're not in your 20s, not when you're thinking with the other head.
Well, unless you were, brought up and you were trained in this. You were taught this by somebody who knew, but the average person doesn't know this.
No.
All right. Having the opportunity to say yes to things that you want to do without having to check in with someone is one of the most empowering and wonderful things in the world, and it's one of the best things about being single. For example, starting this YouTube channel, if I had tried to do this when I was married, my ex would have given me so much crap about it. She would have said, oh, you can't do it because of this, because of that, it costs too much, you're not talented, you don't have any skills, you don't have the time. It's been one thing after the other, and then even if I did start doing it, every time I would take time to shoot a video or edit a video, she would have given me crap about it. She would have been making me feel guilty. Or you're not spending enough time with the family, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you should be out mowing the grass instead of paying someone to mow your grass. I'm so glad I don't have to deal with any of that crap anymore. The other thing is I started my own business sort of at the end of our marriage, and the reason I know she would give me crap about the YouTube channel is because she gave me so much crap about that. I mean, here I am trying to scrape enough money together to keep our family afloat, and I've quit my job, so I'm trying to do what I think I can do to make some money. And yeah, no encouraging words. You've never started a business before. You're gonna fail. There's no chance this is gonna work. It's like, really? Really? You're going there with this?
And that's the sad thing. There's a lot of women like that. Here's a guy. He's busting his ass, trying to provide for the family, and instead of supporting him, which a wife, that's what a wife is. She's a helpmate. She's there to support the husband,
Right.
and what he decides. He's the leader in the family. He's the head, and she's his helper. She's there to support him in everything that he decides to do. This guy's busting his butt trying to provide for the family, and like a lot of women, she's there instead of supporting him. She's belittling him. She's doubting his capabilities, saying, "Oh, that's not going to work," putting negativity in him and criticizing him.
Right.
And it's a shame, but this is what a lot of men go through with women.
Absolutely.
And so let's see what else this guy went through.
With the wrong woman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
Not
there are
women, with the wrong woman.
Yeah. Because there are good women out there. It just
Absolutely.
it's a lot harder to find these
Like a
days.
diamond in the rough, I can tell you that, my friend. A diamond in the rough.
Absolutely.
Never again. It's been 7 years, 6 figures every year since she left. So yeah, never have to deal with that again. My car recently broke down, and I decided I didn't want to keep it anymore. It was a 2019 Jeep, and the transmission went bad. And well, it took like a month and a half to fix, and Jeep was terrible. Their service was terrible. The people at their Wave Incorporated, whatever, they were terrible. I didn't want to do business with them ever again. So while that Jeep was in the shop getting fixed, I just went to the dealership and bought myself a new car. And she would have freaked out because now we got 2 cars. It's like, no, we're gonna just have one, but now I've got one that works. Never have to deal with that again. Don't have to ask permission. Just do it because I want to do it. Got a lot of neighbors that love watching football. They invite me over to watch games with them, drink a few beers. Don't have to stop and ask. Don't have to call anyone. You have to say, hey, is it okay if I stop at the neighbor's house and have a few beers? Nope, just do it because I want.
See, that's the thing. I don't understand. See, this is where this is on him. I mean, a man should never have to check up on his wife whether he can do something. Oh,
Right.
Can I go fishing?
Yeah.
Can I do this? It's no. I'm going fishing. It's like you don't ask, you tell her.
I'm going
And
fishing.
if you have
Okay,
a woman
have a
like
good time.
yeah, and if you have a woman like that that's going to nag you and or no, be demanding and stuff like that, you shouldn't be with her in the first place.
Absolutely. I have to agree with you 100%. Absolutely. 100%.
See, this was his mistake was he didn't know what he knows now when he first got married, and he married a woman that the signs were there right from the beginning. Women don't this whole thing that everything was perfect until we got married, and then after we got married she changed. No. Yeah. She was like that. You just weren't looking for the signs.
100%.
The signals
100%.
are always there.
Yeah, 100%.
Want to do it. Of course, I can go on dates, which is wonderful, and it has been good. And I can have sex a lot more frequently now than I could before, which is good. I don't have to ask anyone, Usually when I am on a date and we get to that point, there's no asking. It just unfolds naturally, When I was married, oh man, when we were having sex, I'd have to schedule it. I'd have to ask, beg, come on, honey, come on, you can do it. Nope, I don't feel good. Nope, tired. Oh, I've got to work tomorrow. I can't do it. Yeah, none of that. Girls on dates, they're not giving me any excuses. They're just doing it. So.
You got anything to say on that, or?
I'm speechless.
I will give him that. That usually when you are married, but see, the reason he's having, more sex or it's like in his dating phases, because it's in the dating phase, it's like that. It's new. It's exciting.
Right.
After when you're married, you got the stresses of life and stuff like that. It does die down.
It does,
And
absolutely, but
yeah,
there's no reason for it to stop.
no, it shouldn't stop. But
No,
if you're expecting it 2, 3 times a day in marriage life, that's
it's
unrealistic.
not going to happen.
No,
It's not going to happen.
but
100%.
there's nothing wrong with a minimum once a week or something.
Whatever. Whatever.
Or whatever it is. There's, but for a woman to kind of put it off where you end up having sex once a month, or sometimes I hear guys, it's even longer than that. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Years and years and years, my friend, I can tell you.
But yeah, but yeah, it's,
Years and years and years, I can tell you.
I mean, unless it's a medical condition or something like that, there's no reason for it.
No.
Man should not be with a woman like that.
No, absolutely not. I agree.
Yeah, that's a huge relief. Little things like when I bought my new house, first of all, I bought a new house and I didn't have to ask her about it. I could just buy the house that I wanted for the reasons I wanted it. And what's funny is, so the house that I bought is in a neighborhood that I wanted to live in. But what sold the house was the prior owner had already prepped the 2-car garage as a gym. Like that was the selling point for me. Like it had rubber floors all the way down. It had been drywalled and it had shelves up. I mean, it was a perfect little gym for me. And of course, since I run a gym out of my house, that was a huge issue for me. But that's not a selling point that any woman would have gone for. You know what I mean? Like it does have nice kitchen and nice bathrooms and it's a nice house.
It depends on the woman.
Listen, unless you're a fitness fanatic. If you're a fitness fanatic, I'm sure both you're going to be right on board.
Yeah, because I know women that's a selling point is that are into fitness.
And let's be honest, if you got a fully equipped gym at home, there's no need for you to get in your car, go out, drive in 20 minutes, go to the gym, come on back, stop at Starbucks, grab yourself a Frappuccino. All that energy, all that training that you just did went out the window because you got yourself a nice extra large chocolate or strawberry Frappuccino with extra whipped cream and extra sauce. And it's the modernization in today's world. That's exactly what it is. People feel that they have to compensate. I went to the gym, I worked out, I did all this, I was there for an hour and a half. I'm going to have myself a treat. A treat is Starbucks coffee or a latte or some fancy expensive drink. Defeats the purpose, right?
Yeah. But this guy just, it seems like he had nothing in common with his wife.
Well, and I feel for him. I feel for him because I know how I know how sad that can be, and especially, I mean, he's not a bad looking guy, good looking guy, got a little bit of gray hair. He's almost 60, goes to the gym, trains, does his thing, has started up his own business. His wife was giving him crap beforehand. Oh no, you're not going to amount to this. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. Well, you know what? I'd like to say congratulations to this man over here because he's done what he set out to do.
Yep.
Right? And that is worth a lot of respect. 100%. I guarantee you that much.
Let's see what else she put him through.
House, nice floors and all that stuff. But the selling point was I walked in there, I saw the garage, like, I'm taking this one. Yeah, she would not have gone for that at all. And even as I started buying stuff for the house, because I didn't want her crap in my house anymore, I threw out all the old dishes and stuff. So I got spider webs in my hair. But I bought gray dishes because I like having gray dishes. I bought a whole new set of glasses just because I like having a special kind of glass. I like thick glass. I don't like that, frilly stuff. I don't like all that sparkly stuff. I just want a glass that looks like a glass, Cutlery, same thing. None of that frilly stuff. Just give me a basic fork and knife and spoon. I don't need it to be fancy. I just want it to get food from the plate to my mouth. Wonderful. No questioning on that. The bedding I put on my bed, completely nondescript. I mean, it's fine. It's not ugly, but it's just, I didn't have to ask anybody. I just bought it, And after 21 years of living with a woman and being able to make these decisions, I know to you single guys, you're thinking, what's wrong with this guy? Was he crazy? No, really, this is the kind of shit you have to put up with. When you're living with a woman, every single decision that you make is questioned, and you are
Once again, it depends on if you marry the wrong woman, yeah, she'll question you and stuff like that.
It all comes down to who you marry.
Yeah.
How close, how tight of your relationship is, how well you get along, uh, yeah, definitely the wrong woman for the man here. And I honestly, I feel for him, but you know, you got to learn from your mistakes. Sometimes
Yeah.
people learn at, in their 20s, early 20s. Sometimes people learn in 30s, 40s, 50s. And in his case, it's, late 50s.
That's something I never learned.
And some I never
Yeah.
learned, right?
And I mean, for example, I mean, obviously this guy's into fitness or something like
Mhm.
that. I think he
Mhm.
even said that he runs a fitness thing out of his house or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
He married a woman, obviously, that wasn't into fitness. If she
Correct.
was, she would have been all on board with that.
100%.
So he married a woman that he really didn't have much in common in that, at least in that regard, regarding fitness.
I'm sure they had a lot in common in the beginning of their relationship, but then, like we mentioned beforehand, being together for, a certain amount of years, it just, I guess the intimacy rubs off, or, people just change. People change in general. And unfortunately, he found the rotten apple in the batch.
Change, people change in certain areas, but not to the point where the relationship was going great, and then all of a sudden a person changes into a totally different
Correct.
person. You're like, I don't know who I married.
Exactly.
Because I've heard that many times, and that is
absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
just a bunch of baloney.
Well, look at what you've become, or you were never like this beforehand, or what happened, or
I understand the weight thing. Women, some women let themselves go, and that can cause a problem. They
men as well. Not
well,
just women,
true,
men as
but
well.
I'm saying these aren't the thing. Well, we're talking about like the way a person is, their personality, stuff like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
That doesn't change.
Right.
Oh, so it's not like checking in with a wife and where she's going to question every decision you make. I mean,
Right.
if you marry the wrong woman, absolutely. But then the only person you can blame is you can blame yourself, because you shouldn't have married that woman to begin with.
Absolutely. I'm curious as to see, the people who are going to be viewing this channel. I'm curious to see what comments they leave behind to, on either his behalf or on our behalf, or, I'm curious to see that. Let's continue.
Yeah, I'd like to anybody out there that's gone through similar things or hasn't gone through it.
Absolutely.
Because there might be some guys that got married and they never experienced any of this. They got a happy marriage.
Right.
We'd like to hear that too. And the guys that have, like to hear what you guys went through, and also how you've changed because of that.
Yeah. It does change a person. It does change a person.
It opens your eyes.
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
I mean, 21 years of him being together with his wife, something must have happened for him to actually say, you know what? No, this has to stop. I'm going to take charge of my own life. I'm going to do the things I want to do that make me happy. Why should my happiness be determined by the way, things that you want done or not done?
Well, I'm trying to figure out, did he say, I don't think he said, did he say, was the marriage, the divorce mutual, or was it her or him?
She left. She left him.
She left. Oh, okay. That's what
Yeah.
Usually that's the way it is.
Yeah. Usually, yeah. I mean, in my case, that was,
Well, they say it's over 80% now of divorces are initiated by women.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I say, it's a diamond in the rough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at some level of incompetence all the time. It's like you can't make these simple, basic decisions about your own life. And it is the most frustrating thing in the world. And you don't realize it's happening because it's insidious. It happens over time. It happens slowly. She doesn't start off hitting with all these questioning your integrity and your thoughtfulness and your decision-making ability. It happens a little at a time. And over the years, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until suddenly you're wondering if you can wipe your own ass. You know what I mean?
Hey, valid. It's a valid point. Listen, I've gone through it. And I'm in total agreement with this man here. Total agreement.
Oh, no. Yeah. I mean, I've gone through it too. But fortunately for me, I went through it back in my 20s.
Right.
And I learned. I had to experience it to learn.
Right. And
But the fortunate thing is I learned at a young age.
right.
And it's, I've since then never gone through any of this,
No.
and never will again. That one time, it was enough.
100%.
And I've told many guys, for years, I've been telling guys, don't do it, don't, and then they do it, and they're like, man, if I had only listened to you. Like, yeah, but I go, none of us, I wouldn't have listened if somebody had told me.
But you told me, and I didn't listen.
Hey, sure. I've told many guys, and they didn't listen. But if somebody had told me that, nobody did, but I had to learn. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't have listened either. Back at that time period, the way I was, I wouldn't have listened. Yeah. No, she's the best. She's great.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And
100%.
But it's something we all have to go through, and hopefully we learn from it, because a lot of guys unfortunately don't learn.
No pain, no gain, my friend.
Yeah. And I'm assuming that a majority of people that are watching this have learned.
Yeah. And guys, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Leave us your feedback. Leave us your comments. Has this happened to you? Has this happened to anyone that you know? And if so, how has it changed their life or your life?
That's the way it unfolds. Anyway, so this is a message for any man who's in a bad marriage and who's experiencing this kind of constant torture of living with a woman. Here's my advice to you. Don't put up with it anymore. You don't have to deal with that crap. If you're miserable in your marriage and you're getting on like me, like I'm almost 60 years old, screw that. How many years have I got left? I mean, at 60, maybe 20 more good years, 25 if I'm really lucky. Yeah, that's not a lot of time. I have genes that are older than that, okay? I've got 25-year-old genes in my closet. So, yeah, do it. Take your life back. It's your time. It's your life. Live it for yourself. Do not sacrifice another damn minute with some insufferable woman who is owning your entire life. Now, I know there are times when she's not so bad.
It's almost like he's saying, just go get a divorce,
Well, I mean,
divorce is, marriage is supposed to be for life.
it's supposed to be eternal. Yeah.
Okay. And try to repair it. If you can't, then obviously but once again, it takes two to tango,
Honestly, 100%.
Every failed marriage is
a reflection of both parties,
yeah.
right?
No, maybe the one person didn't do anything wrong in the marriage, but he picked the wrong person.
Right.
And it's something, unfortunately, sometimes you have to live with the consequences.
Well, I'm actually glad for him to that he took his own life back, in the little time that he's got left. Like you said, 20 years, could be 20, could be 10, could be 15, could be 5, could be 5 days. Right. But what's important is to make yourself happy. And if that is his choice or her choice as she walked away from the marriage and he found happiness afterwards, good for him. Good for him.
But see, the big problem today is now with him, I don't know what happened, how much money he had, but I don't even know if there's children involved. There's child support, alimony, probably not with him, because I don't think he's making that much money that he had to pay alimony. But if he had children, there's child support, there's the lawyer fees.
He's been doing 6 figures over the past 6 years, so I'm guessing he's probably doing well for himself.
Well, it would depend on what I'm talking about alimony on. If his wife was working, because he mentioned that.
Right.
So chances are he's not, with that kind of money that he's making, he wasn't paying alimony. But children, marriage, these are things you have to look into before you get married.
Absolutely. Your children.
Because you got way too much to lose. Women don't really have anything to lose. They have everything to gain.
It's the man that suffers in this. Yeah. 100%.
Women have everything to gain. Men, we have very little to gain.
Absolutely.
We have everything to lose.
You could call it being chauvinistic. You can call it what you want. But at the end of the day, I call a spade, and the man is always the one that suffers the most in the relationship. Always.
Well, especially when it ends, it's the man. It's the facts. Men are the ones that suffer the most. We have everything to lose.
Right.
And that's why Be
And
careful.
yeah, and the off rate, is 4 times more likely for a man to off himself than for a woman to.
Yeah, but that's not just because it's because of everything. Men are under way more stress in life than
Absolutely.
women. We have
Absolutely.
women. There's help out there for women everywhere. I
They've
mean,
got
it's just
helplines for male, for female. You know what, guys? If you're feeling depressed, if you think there's something wrong, there's no shame. Pick up your phone, dial the health line, get some help, talk to someone. It's very important. Mental health is such an issue today amongst men, and a lot of men are embarrassed to admit it. But there is help out there. There is help out there, and if you're going through something like this and you can't cope with it, then Mark and I, we strongly advise for you to pick up that phone, talk to someone, let it out. It's easier sometimes to talk to a stranger than it is to talk to your own family or friends.
yeah, absolutely.
There's times when she's going to seem nice. She might even make you a meal, and God forbid, she might even take you to bed one night. But those times are few and far between, and life is too precious to waste it with someone that is making you crazy. Because when you take your life back and you own it and you can live it the way you want to live it, oh my God, it is so insanely delicious.
Oh,
sure.
wow, that was a dog.
All right, you guys, thanks for watching. That's all I got for you today. Please remember to
Okay.
Yeah, give this guy a like, subscribe to his channel, subscribe to our channel, and give us a like, give us some thumbs up here, and leave some comments behind in the comment section, and maybe let us know what you want to see next. If there's, or if you want to discuss anything with us, you can definitely email us. So we'll be more than happy to respond and to take the time out and talk to you guys. That's what we're here for. It's not just a channel; it's a channel to help the community.
Yeah, and I think his anyways, I'll leave a link in the description to his channel. I do believe his channel, his name is John Griffin. I think that's the actual channel name, John Griffin. But I'll leave a link in the description. And yeah, anybody out there who's single now and maybe is considering one day, or maybe not, the opportunities are not there now to get married, but
Right.
Think if the opportunity, if it ever does come up that you think you're falling for somebody and you're planning on getting married, make sure you pick the right person.
Absolutely, because
You don't just buy a car, without test driving it. And I'm not talking test drive like you go sleeping around with the woman. Test drive, look at everything. Like I know every car I bought. If it was a new car, I do research on it. Like I didn't just it would be like a month of research at least. I was like everything, the features of the car, what the mileage. I mean, you look into a car,
Right.
but yet when we in relationships, a lot of people just kind of jump into it.
Into the woman. They fail to look into the woman, or they fail to look into the man completely.
Yeah. So just be, take your time, be careful, make sure it's the right woman. If you think you found the right one, great if she is, but be careful and always have an escape plan. And by an escape plan, I mean, set yourself up that you're not going to get screwed over if you do end up having a divorce.
Right.
Regardless whether you have children or not, depending on the amount of money you make, whether you have to pay alimony or not, but make sure you're going to be okay.
And gentlemen, if you are amongst those people who are paying alimony, then please make sure you have visitation rights. With alimony comes visitation rights. Don't let your child or your children be taken away from you on the fact that you couldn't make it work with your significant other.
Are you thinking child support, or are you talking alimony? Because that's two different things.
Child support.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, child support. Just because a marriage is suffering doesn't mean the children have to suffer with this, right?
No. Well, see, the big problem is a lot of guys, they get run through the courts, and they
Oh yeah, they get put through the ringer.
They can't fight.
They get washed out, and they're finished. They've got no money, they've got no energy left. So what happens? Okay, you know what? You win. Here, take everything.
Yeah.
I'll start I'll start from the beginning again, right?
Yeah, a lot of guys can't afford going through divorce, and they can't afford because the
expensive.
lawyers will run it as long as they can to milk you for every penny.
Absolutely right. It's expensive, but I think we've touched on this subject enough for this video, guys. If you want to see any videos, if you have any ideas, if you want to reach out to us, please do subscribe, press the like button, and Mark and I will be here every day, uploading videos every single day, and I hope that what we bring to the table can shed some light on your situation at home.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.